and here, let's say there is muscle, right? Is this, what kind of neuron is this? This is a motor, well, let's talk about the motor system, okay? So this will be a motor neuron. What kind of motor neuron? So this is a lower motor neuron, right? Here we'll have a junction, right? Or a synapse. What kind of synapse if we're talking here? Muscle, and here a neuron, a motor neuron. Neuromuscular junction, okay? What is a neurotransmitter here that is secreted by this lower motor neuron? Acetylcholine. Very good, guys. I'm happy. This is going to be a tricky question. What is the receptor here? No, receptor. I'm not talking about ion. The receptor for acetylcholine. You have to remember that.
Ligand?
That's a type of receptor, but what's the name of the receptor in which acetylcholine will bind to? I like that response, okay? It's called cholinergic receptor.
Oh, yeah.
We talked about that, right? So this is a cholinergic receptor. This is a good overview because I hate to just read slides but I'm gonna be more. But you remember the cholinergic receptors?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Never.
I don't know. All right. We might cover those. All right. Okay, I'm not gonna expand on this, but it's a cholinergic receptor. If it's acetylcholine, it has to be a cholinergic receptor. Acetylcholine binds here. Remember it's a ligand gated, right? So acetylcholine binds, and that's how sodium goes in, and there is an action potential, and then there is muscle contraction. Okay? Yes?
Yes.
All right. What else do we have? On the other side, now is when I'm going to complicate your life, but I'm going to make it very easy, okay? And then we're going to go into more details, right? We're going to talk about the autonomic nervous system. So when talking about the autonomic nervous system, the autonomic nervous system is divided into what? Okay, so on top I'm going to put here the parasympathetic. And here at the bottom, I'm going to talk about the sympathetic, okay? All right, so what is interesting about the autonomic nervous system is that there are two neurons from the spinal cord to the organs that they're going to innervate. You're going to have two neurons, okay? There is always, in the parasympathetic and in the parasympathetic, there is always a ganglia involved. Okay, so if there is a ganglia, okay, if there is a ganglia, okay, the ganglia will be the one that I'm going to say name because of the presence of the ganglia. The neurons are going to have different names. Okay, so if there are two neurons involved, okay, as I already mentioned to you guys. The first neuron is going to be called, and here remember that, okay, we're talking about the autonomic nervous system, so all the information goes from the spinal cord to the periphery, right, or to the different, I'm going to say, effector organs. Let's call it just effector because they're going to be in charge of a function, right? Effector organ. For this and here the same. So there is a ganglia right in the middle. So, and since I told you that there are two neurons that are going to transmit information from the spinal cord to the effector organ, the first neuron is going to be called preganglionic, and the second neuron is going to be called postganglionic. Okay, so we're going to have a preganglionic neuron, we're going to have a postganglionic neuron. The same is going to happen here in the sympathetic. We're going to have a preganglionic and we're going to have a postganglionic neuron. Okay? Now we're going to talk about the difference here. Okay? So remember that here the neurotransmitter involved is acetylcholine. Let me change the color. Let me make it more. Let me make it different. So, the preganglionic neurons, okay? They're gonna secrete in the parasympathetic and the parasympathetic system, and the sympathetic and parasympathetic, they're gonna secrete the same neurotransmitter than the somatic system, which is acetylcholine. Okay? Yes? So you see here that the neurotransmitter secreted by the preganglionics and the lower motor neuron is acetylcholine. Okay? So it's the same. Okay? Now, the parasympathetic, and we already know, we have talked about the sympathetic and the parasympathetic, no? But you have an idea. Sympathetic stimulates in general, right? That's your fight, exercise system, right? The parasympathetic is your rest and digest system, correct? So, your parasympathetic, all right, let's talk about the parasympathetic right now. So we're gonna have the preganglionic is gonna secrete acetylcholine, and the postganglionic neuron also is going to secrete acetylcholine. Okay? And here, what do you think is the name of the receptor here? Cholinergic receptor. Okay, I'm not gonna. Okay, let's see if your textbook says something about the difference here. Okay. All right. So the receptor here is gonna be cholinergic. Okay. Your sympathetic. Okay. Normally, when you're, let's say, what is it like when you get excited, when you're exercising, when you get into a fight? Okay. What is it that you secrete? What hormone? What? Epinephrine, right? In generally speaking, when there is a sympathetic rush, you think adrenaline, right? Yes? So, do you think that acetylcholine here will be released by the postganglionic neuron? No. Okay? In this case, it has to be the majority, okay? It's norepinephrine. Also, epinephrine is released, okay? But norepinephrine here is the big difference in terms of neurotransmitters involved. Okay? And here the receptor, since it's norepinephrine, what do you think? What's the name of this receptor? I'm gonna write it for you. Adrenergic receptor. Okay? And in terms of the receptors here for acetylcholine in the ganglia here, it's the same. Cholinergic receptors, right? Yes? So the only difference here that we see, and here we're comparing the somatic system, okay? We're looking here to the right. We have the autonomic system. We have the parasympathetic and the sympathetic. The only difference is the neurotransmitter secreted by the sympathetic system, but only it's your postganglionic neuron. Your preganglionic neuron secretes the same acetylcholine like everybody else, right? All right, so did you understand that? Because I'm gonna now tell you the difference more. I'm gonna get